Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cloud Wars Live. We are exploring the digital revolution, and we've got a couple of fascinating guests with us who are working with a large technology and business strategy and consulting firm from the Middle East. Seidor MENA is the company. Ignacio is the managing director. Tariq is the head of sales. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Welcome to Cloud Wars Live.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here with you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and Tariq, Ignacio, we've had a couple conversations. It sounds like there's so many interesting things going on, not only in your marketplace with the companies there, digital transformation, the moves that are taking place around the world, the changes, but also within your own company as your growth continues. So could you just start us off? Tell us a little bit about, the role that Seidor MENA occupies over there in the market, and then also the ways in which you're changing along with these new requirements and new expectations of your customers.
What we're trying to do here in Seidor is we're trying to offer the customers best in breed solutions. Yeah, we're very known to be an SAP enterprise application consulting partner, but with the pace that we see especially in the Middle East is a very hungry market for technology and knowledge. So we try to focus on the technology consulting part. That's what try to make it special. We're a part of of the Seidor group, right? And we cover the Middle East, and we have the support, the backbone of knowledge of like 30 years of expertise, excellent resources that are very knowledgeable in technology and in what we do basically. And then I think it's more about focusing on the people, because what we do is for the people, right? So people, not only the customers' people, people is our people, is the technology vendors, the technology vendors that we work with. You have to take care of the people at the end, because technology is for the people. You have to make sure that they are motivated every day to learn. It's key in technology. Every day you have to learn at least one new thing, right? Otherwise you're outdated, you're out of the market. So that's what we try to do with our people, with the customers, with the partners that we work with. We try to explore, we try to keep up to date, or try to make sure that we are always knowledgeable and always aware on what's going on around, new trends, new hypes, in business, in technology, disruptive, not necessarily disruptive, could be traditional things that have been there in the market for so long, but for one reason or another, now it's getting better and better traction in this sense. Basically, that's I think what we try to make special about us in this very challenging competitive market. I don't know, Ignacio.
I mean, our role is basically what we're trying to do with customers is kind of an advisory role, right? But also a challenging role, right? For us, it's extremely important to understand why are you doing this project, or why do you want to go in this direction? What are the reasons behind? Does it make sense? Is it something that you just read, or it's a trend, but maybe it doesn't apply to your business, or maybe it's not the right moment, or you need to understand what is the value you're going to get after doing this project. So we challenge quite a lot customers in order to get the best solution, right? And this is key for us. We really are tough in a nice way with customers to really tell them, listen, guys, it's a big investment. You need to understand that this is going to be with you for a long time. So it's very important to build it properly and to understand what is your strategy. What do you want to do in the next years? What is your expectation from the project, right? So for us, this is the right way to really tell them, listen, this is the roadmap that we believe is better for you. These are the reasons why. These are the cons and pros, and this is our advisory role, right? Of course, based on what Tariq was saying, understanding very well the technology and the processes and the industries.
Ignacio, what you were describing, I think, is such a prevalent theme these days, because things are changing so fast, and I think the stakes for businesses, your customers, are so high that more and more it seems the customers want not only the things you're selling, but they need your expertise, right, in technology and in business.
Correct. Because at the end, I mean, you know, everyone now wants to be digital. They want to be agile. They want to be a lot of things, but sometimes it's you don't have the proper core systems on your company. Sometimes you have to do some basic stuff first in order to be ready to expand, or in order to be ready to, I don't know, right? So yeah, that's definitely our role.
And Tariq, I want to come back to something you had said there about the need to, you know, learn new things every day. I think that ties into what Ignacio mentioned about your customers are looking to Seidor for not only the technological expertise you have, but what is new in the marketplace? What do I, as your customer, need to do to not just survive, but to thrive in this digital future?
Yeah, it's very important, and that's something the corporates and the customers sometimes overlook when they are looking into their digital transformation strategy, that it has to be very much aligned with the business strategy. And that's always a question that we ask, and everyone needs to ask in this business, that what's your business strategy in the next 3 to 5 years? Because they have to understand that going through a digital transformation or an enterprise application implementation is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Yeah, so you have to take it on your own pace, right? It's not that you burn all your stamina in the first 500 meters, and then, you know, you're out of budget, you're out of resources, you're out of everything,
you're out of breath.
And you're out of the market. You cannot continue the, you know, the 10 kilometers or the 20 or 30 or 42, right, is the official marathon length. Yeah, so this is how customers should look at it. So you should align this very closely with the business strategy, and that's a question we always ask. Yeah, so the enterprise applications, it goes hand on hand with what the business executives would like to do. What are you looking at? Are you looking at an exit strategy for the next 3 to 5 years, or are you looking into expansion? Because then those are two different tracks on how I'm gonna do my implementation for you, or my enterprise application strategy, or what I'm gonna advise you to go with in this sense. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, it seems more and more, gentlemen, that those two things are becoming inseparable, right? I see more and more companies, they used to have their business strategy out here and the technology strategy tried to catch up with it. And these days, I think more and more leaders among your customers are saying they have to be the same thing. They can't be separate, one chasing the other.
Yeah.
Does that seem fair, Ignacio?
Totally. And also companies are focusing on their core business, because they don't have time to know the latest trends in technology or the latest trends in whatever they are doing. No? So they're looking for experts that they can really subcontract and help the business to grow, but always from the business perspective, because the other things, that's why cloud and all these things now, after a lot of years now, they really start to make sense. Right?
Yeah. So Seidor operates around the world in various regions, and you two lead the Middle East, North Africa region there for Seidor. So are the business challenges, first, could you talk about some of the business challenges your customers are facing? And then would you say, talk a little bit about which ones are perhaps regionally based and which are global issues that you're finding customers are facing?
Yeah, I think the Middle East is, I don't know, I've always worked in the Middle East, so I cannot compare to other regions. Maybe Ignacio can comment on the comparison with other parts. Okay. But it's always, it's not an easy market. It's a high risk market. It's a risky market. There is potential. There are resources. Yeah. But it's still, let's say, trying to catch up, you know, in terms of regulations, in terms of maturity, market maturity, technology maturity. So it's definitely not like in Europe or in the US. For instance, the US is like a very mature cloud market, from what I read and what I know from our peers that operate in Seidor US. It's not the same case in the Middle East. We still come from we like to possess things. We like to own things. Yeah? I own my apartment. I own my car. And then, you know, you open a business, and most of it is like family business. And then you carry on this mindset with you that I want to own my server. I want to own my application. I want to own my data. Definitely, you're going to own your data. But I guess that's part of the challenge. And some companies, some let's say IT service providers, underestimate this challenge. Yeah, they you know fall for the glamour, and they think, okay, now, you know, everything is shiny and bright, and, you know, the oil barrel now is, you know, rocketing, so let's go make some money in the Middle East, right? And it's not the case. They underestimate this risk. And again, you know, what happens to them is what happens to the customers. Also, they burn their stamina, in the first 500 meters, and then they struggle. It requires a long-term strategy, requires patience, requires a lot of massaging, as we call it in the, you know, in the sales terminology, to get things done. The pace definitely is not, you know, as high and as aggressive maybe as like in other markets, with some exceptions. There are like those bright hubs, definitely, that, you know, you find that the pace is higher than other places, but still the overall culture is more laid back, I would say. Yes, and that's now, you know, in the dynamics of the modern business world, and it's unfortunately, it's not a good thing. You know, you have to pick up speed, right? Otherwise, you know, you will be out of the market.
Yeah. Well, Ignacio, so you know, the move to the cloud can be challenging enough for big businesses, right? Because they say, well, there could be security issues, and you know, what about my data? And we all know how to use the old one, even if it's not perfect. And now you add on to that sort of the cultural ideas that Tariq described. How do you move customers off of that mindset so that they can gain the new capabilities from the cloud?
I mean, I think it's on the other hand, what Tariq was saying is that actually here in the Middle East, the adoption of the cloud is quite high, right? And this is mainly because, I believe it's mainly because some of these customers, they are not technology mature, right? So when they need a solution at this stage, they are ready to go to the latest trends, right? They don't have a huge legacy system like you find in Europe in big companies, right? So there's a very good opportunity here because customers are open to cloud, right? We have some challenges because data here and protection and data between the countries and especially on the public sector, sometimes you cannot take the data out of the country, right? So this gives some constraints on the different options that you can provide the customer, right? But yeah, it's a complete different scenario from Europe, for example.
Yeah, and gentlemen, I'd love to hear from you, right? Because we see this dynamic of companies saying, geez, he said, you know, everything is changing so fast. I need to move faster. What have been the big changes in your marketplace over the last couple of years? And then you take that through today and a year or two into the future. What is it that your customers are asking for and needing more help from Seidor to achieve?
I think they're looking, everyone's looking now for scalable solutions, right? People want to grow, they want to grow quickly, they want to expand, and they want to be sure that they can do this in a quick way, right? And the only way to be able to do this is to have a proper scalable system. So you go to a different country and you're able to work with a template, you are able to roll out quickly, you are able to buy a company and integrate it in the core systems. So these are the solutions that our customers are looking for. They really want to understand, okay, if I'm in an expansion mode, what is the best way to accelerate, right? Recently, we have done a rollout in 28 countries using a template in a very short period of time. This is what customers are looking now. No? I think there is a big change on the past. We were used to very long SAP projects, right? Now no one can afford more than 6 months SAP projects, right? They want a return a very quick return on their investments, right? So it's very important to understand the quick wins on this type of projects, the communication, in order to be sure that they are seeing the value that they're paying for. This is for me, this is the key. This is the big change. Huh? Tariq, what do you think?
Yeah, it's the era now. Is the era of venture capitalists and private equity funds, right? M&As have never been on such a high pace before in history. This project that Ignacio is speaking about, we carved out a company that was sold to another company, and then after 6 months, the new owner, which is a private equity fund, decided, okay, let's sell also another part of the business to a new owner, and the dynamics is incredible. Yes, and the IT application landscape has to keep up with that. Has to be modular enough in a way that you can, like a puzzle, right? You can take this piece without the whole thing falling apart, right? You put it there, and then you replace it. That's what the customer is looking at. Either you're one of those big guys that you want to expand and acquire, or you're building your maybe startup and you want just to exit and then create again your new startup and so on. So that's the thing. It's this is really driving everything, including the IT application landscape.
Yeah. And there's also one more thing, that is the usability, right? I think now we are all used to very easy applications, very easy mobile apps. We go to LinkedIn, Facebook, and we expect the systems of the company to run in the same way. Yeah. So there's no more 500 fields to make a purchase order or to put an invoice. No, people is just, they want one field saying invoice, and the system will generate it, and easy to share and easy to, yeah. So this is also a mentality change in the customers. No? They really want applications that are very easy to use. No?
Yeah. So more industry context, easier to use, easier to install, simpler to use, and nobody has time to what used to be like a year and a half project or a couple years, and like you said, Ignacio, it's just unimaginable now.
It's unimaginable, and also people want to standardize processes. I mean, there's no more. No, in Jordan we do these things in a different way, and then in Kuwait we have this. No, I mean, it's the same for everyone. If you have something that you need to do aside the system, open an Excel file. No, but we are not going to change the process for the whole company. Right? This is a big trend now.
So it's interesting, guys, right? Because with Seidor, you have your own company. It's independent, part of the global Seidor family. But you've got your own reputation about what you want to achieve, and then also as a partner of SAP and some other great technology companies, you have to be aware of or engage some with the reputations those companies have and work with your customers in that way. I was very encouraged over the last couple of weeks, especially at Sapphire, the degree to which SAP described, Tariq, you talked about the modular capabilities, and they're really trying to push now that SAP ERP is not this giant monolithic thing that's going to take 2 years to install and you can never change it. So how is that reception coming in your marketplace about the new view of cloud and SAP?
I guess that's what everyone was waiting for. Yeah, and to be frank here, I think there is a room of improvement for SAP when it comes to the public cloud offering. And here I'm talking not as Tariq, the director of sales of Seidor. I'm just trying here to be a kind of independent. How do you call it? Independent critic, right? There is some work to be done, and that's what the customers were waiting for. With all this connectivity now between different systems, right? Business networks, the system is not just sitting there in your own data center where your accountants only can work on it or your purchasing officers can work on it. Now there are documents flowing all over, the internet, the network, customers placing orders, receiving invoices, returns, suppliers, you communicate with them, and so on. and that means that you have the system, the application has to be more agile. Here, I would like to highlight also a strategy that we are trying also to follow in Seidor in the Middle East. Even though, yes, we believe that SAP enterprise applications are leaders, and for me, they will still be a leader, yeah, no matter what. But we try to offer and enrich our customers' experience with technology coming from others. No one passes, the absolute truth. Okay, no one has the best of everything, right? So, including us, by the way, right? So, we believe that we need to work in combination to the best of our knowledge that serve the customer better. So, for instance, we found that we're combining the power of SAP enterprise applications with the hyperscalers like AWS, for instance, give the customers a real edge in terms of scalability, the scalability that they're looking for, the agility of rolling out companies, landscapes in different regions, different countries, and the cost effectiveness as well. It's something a real concern for each business, because always IT is a cost center. Yeah, is something that when you look at your P&L, okay. So we need to reduce cost, guys. Where are the cost centers? IT, HR, tech support services. So we found this. We work with other technologies, leading technologies also in the market, like process mining technologies, execution management systems. We work with Celonis, for instance, to help migrating the SAP ACC legacy systems install base, to take them to S4, but to take them not with all the legacy that comes with it. Using a system for 20, 25 years. Oh my God, you can imagine what kind of customization, what kind of faulty processes are there. So we don't want to just take the customers to S4HANA because ECC is going out of mainstream maintenance in 2027. Shouldn't be the purpose. It should be that, okay, I'm moving, but I want to be also agile. I want to fit in to, the digital era, the modern way of doing business. So we work with similar technologies to help, the customers, not just shifting and lifting, what they have, to modernize applications, to improve in this sense.
Yeah, Tariq, what you were just describing there, I've heard that described often as reimagination, right? You're going to make this move. Don't just, as you said, lift and shift. Think about what you need to do differently in the future, then apply these new tools to help you achieve that new future.
Yeah.
Because there was a very common mistake. There was the IT teams were just migrating to the new release, but without considering the business. It was just a technical migration, right? So for us, it's very important to take the opportunity to do the business and the business processes, right? To look into them and to be sure that there is a value after this migration, right? A conversion or whatever is the case.
Yeah, so Ignacio, Tariq, we've talked a fair amount about speed, but I think, if I could touch on this once more here, you've got at Seidor MENA an opportunity to help your customers in the Middle East and North Africa to move as fast as the world around them. Could you talk a little bit about the ways in which you do that?
I think it starts from staying close to the customer and absorbing the culture. So Seidor is a global company, and here I want to go back to the people topic, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is a global company, but being in a specific market or in a specific region, it's not that easy, right? If you just come as a global company, you have to have the right combination of people, and that's the diversification that we are having in Seidor MENA. The different culture of people that maps to the culture of the customers there, the mindset. You have to speak their language, literally, right? So that's I mean how we try to do it. We try to be proactive. We try to listen always, even if we're not needed. Okay, it doesn't. I'm not gonna listen to you only if you're telling me, listen, there is an RFP and there is an awarding next month, and just give me a proposal. That's for us. That's a very late stage to engage with a customer, because now no one buys like this, right? It's everyone goes get himself educated and learn. Yeah. So if you're not part of this education process somehow, you won't be able to get to the opportunity to serve the customers and to work with them, to help them to improve. You have to be proactive. You have to always follow up. You have always to ask, not wait to be asked and answer. You ask, okay, what do you need? What is it that you're missing? How can I help to to take your business to the next level?
Yeah. Ignacio, for you, is that this notion of a competitive advantage for Seidor, the ability to help customers move as fast as they need to move to succeed in this crazy new world we're in?
It is, but I will go back to the challenging part, right? We really want to do this journey with our customers. We do it every day, but we need to understand why and what are you going to get out of it, and if it's the best scenario, and what are the options. And this is what we like to discuss with customers, because we believe that's the right way. And we have customers that they have been with us for the last 30 years, right? So I think this proves that we really care about their business, because we believe that if their business grow, we will grow with them, right? So this is our culture. Yeah.
Right. So, gentlemen, we've covered a lot of ground here. I think you've offered a very good picture of what Seidor MENA does. Could I offer over to you a last word from each of you? Tariq?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's thanks a lot, Bob, again for having us. Really a pleasure. Then it's what I would like to say, that give the customer what they need. Don't give them what they want. Okay, that's it. That's my statement.
That's a good statement. I will not do anything else. So I don't.
I stake my.
No, thank you so much, Bob. I think it was a real pleasure to have this conversation. And yeah, thank you so much.
Tariq Laham and Ignacio Ruiz, thank you so much.